We'd like to invite the government reply speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, my reply speech will be dealing in three areas. Firstly, I'll do away with the clash of alternatives in this debate because I don't think that this is the deciding factor of this debate. Second, I'm going to deal with comparative social mobility and why I think that comparatively we win that clash. And lastly, probably why it came out in a POI in regards to cost is because the challenge only came in upward, and maybe that should have come out a lot earlier, opposition. So, firstly, let's talk about alternatives. Because we agree that opposition's alternatives are all better than status quo. That's not in dispute in this debate. But this debate is about which one is comparatively better in improving status quo, ladies and gentlemen. So Jasmine, yes, you can defend something, and that something can be racial discriminative law, but comparatively, let's ask ourselves, which one is more likely to be able to have the autonomy to discriminate against some people? Is it a governmental agency that's accountable to its own people, or is it a private individual that is rich, most probably white and old, that's probably going to be informed of its prejudices, and the people that are more likely to be house owners, especially when we talk about contexts like the United States of America? Which one are you more likely to be able to have oversight and be able to have collection of data onto those individuals, ladies and gentlemen? The reason why we think that that marginal difference is important in this debate was exactly why we told you right from the second speaker. Is because what we're risking at this comparative is not just jobs. It's not something that you can just go to the next office and get, ladies and gentlemen. It's about where you're going to live. Whether or not for the next 3 months, whether or not in the same city, whether or not you have to move somewhere else far away, ladies and gentlemen, is heavily reliant on whether or not you can enforce that particular alternative. So yes, it's better than status quo, but it's not enough in this debate, ladies and gentlemen. The second fallback is low-cost housing, apparently. Absolutely no response in regards to whether or not you create ghettos in the inner city or you've moved them far away outside the city with no economic opportunity whatsoever. The only response is that, oh, hopefully new economic opportunities are going to come up. Unfortunately, the economy doesn't work that way, considering that city centers suck up all the investment. Analysis I provided you in my speech, no analysis there whatsoever. That means that, yes, it's better than status quo, but it still leaves many people high and dry in that particular model, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, we sacrifice some people having some houses, but it's not enough. Second issue is in regards to cost. Ladies and gentlemen, it's reasonable to say that maybe we'll have less houses. We're willing to admit that on the outside of the house. But we won't have no houses. We won't have no new houses built, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's fairly reasonable to say that most companies who have built billions of dollars on business to build houses and become developers won't just close up shop and then just say, no, I won't build any more houses. Obviously, they'll build some houses, ladies and gentlemen. But the comparative cost is this. Of the billions of dollars that you have to deal with ghettos and crimes and things like poverty, ladies and gentlemen, that people are getting welfare because they can't afford unaffordable rent in the inner city. That's billions of dollars in cost that society had to undertake at every single point in turn in history, ladies and gentlemen. And that's because you're unwilling to take away rent for some individuals in this circumstance, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that the comparative cost is still worse when you have to deal with social ills, creating criminals, and all these societal costs that you're not willing to bear or deal with under that side of the house, ladies and gentlemen. Lastly, it's in regards to comparative social mobility. It's simple, really, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think they've ever negated my argument in regards to, it's a pipe dream in regards to whether or not you have access or not. Your social mobility is contingent upon that house being valuable in the first place, or even being able to access that house in the first place, ladies and gentlemen. The comparative here is this. Okay, under our side, you have marginally less houses for you to go to. But at the very least, everyone has affordable rent. But under their side, ladies and gentlemen, some people have that comfort of not having to pay rent anymore, but the rest have to pay exorbitant rent for the rest of their lives. Fundamentally, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we have long-lasting, decades-long ghettos in New York City, because people are never able to buy a house in those circumstances. Are you willing to live with that inequity?
The world in which you're afraid that a third party can kick you out of your house and price fluctuations happen and you rely on the price market, ladies and gentlemen, is when a private actor can control that. A private actor can buy and sell the house whenever they want. A private actor can choose who you live in that house. A private actor can choose how they price that particular house. A government is significantly and worlds more accountable to make sure that there's some consistency in those factors rather than that side of the house. When a price market is controlled by the government, then the government is not beholden to that price market, ladies and gentlemen. And fundamentally, that's why we think we need to restructure society for the poor. Thank you very much.